So you're talking down the camera to a prospect, a client. How does this, the culture that Gazelle has and how we operate, how does that translate into a positive for a potential client?
Yeah, I think that kind of really you've cherry-picked the people you've known and worked with before. So as I said before, Gazelle's 2 years old, but actually we all sit here with at least 20 years experience. And we're all, you just see day to day, we're all kind of client-centric people. It's never what's best about us, it's about what's best for the client. And then everybody wins, and that comes over to the insurer side as well. And you just see that kind of in the fabric of the culture of what we're doing.
There's definitely no 9 to 5 in this job. But I think that's kind of what sets us apart from other brokers, is that we answer the phone out of hours. We're always there whenever they need us, really.
Yeah, we are. And I think without, to be clear, that's not about we burning everybody out. Look.
No. We choose to be like that. We choose.
But it is it's a really good point, actually. It's a really interesting point. So we can talk about a nap chair and a reflexology, and no clients, no phone calls have never been answered. Give me that chair, I promise you. But there's a point here that we have a really flexible approach to how we operate, right? And we're talking about this to Gary and somebody else before, that from my perspective, if you said to me 15, 20 years ago that you'd have an office where sometimes you're in, sometimes you're out, sometimes people lay in the nap chair, sometimes the people got a reflexologist. You think, oh my goodness, that's not what I thought we'd have as a business. But I think, that's just, it's an evolution of a culture, I think, in terms of like the people that we've got and everything else. But we've just got each other's backs, right? I think that's the thing. So whilst everyone works really hard, and that, nothing's not going to, if somebody phones at 1:55, right, the phones don't go off or something's not going to happen, the results, and end up in there. And that's really, really important, because I think that, especially as a growing business and as a business, once you've made those promises and commitments to clients, you have to see those through. And that's just an important part of human sort of psychology of being a good business for me. But I think, beyond that, it's also that we look after you guys, and everyone knows that, well, if I'm doing that or so-and-so's doing that, there is a bit of a break time with it. It might be buying your lunch or whatever, but actually we do more things than that. And I think we look after each other. And I think for me, that's massively important.
Yeah.